you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging day? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing F1 2017 Season 14, Round 12 here at Spa Francorchamps. My name is King-Kodiak and I will be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box is the Lord of the Airwaves, Mr. Windswept and Interesting, Mr. Hamish Sopwith.
Yes, thank you very much. So, you join us on a new streaming platform. Hopefully we won't have any mishaps. I'm sure we won't, as we are always professional. The race is about to start, qualifying is about to get underway, and I'm told it's going to be a very interesting and strategic qualifying session.
Right, so we are here at Spa Francorchamps, as the intro suggested, in Belgium. One of a handful of real driver favourites, a classic track. I love this track, something awful, and I have no bones about admitting it. We have got 18 drivers with us for this evening's race, and the names of which you can see in front of you. So, let us see what the qualification has in store for us. Yes, as Hamish mentioned, we are streaming on Apex Online Racing official YouTube channel this evening, as opposed to on my own Twitch. We will see how we get on with that. So, changes afoot, as you can see. You hear the beeping going on, and my screen has stopped on waiting for players, which always makes me nervous. But I got some invites spare in case I am having some difficulty. Everyone's name is ticked, so we will see what is going on. Apparently I'm streaming on the Xbox event as well.
Yes, I've just been told that information by Dan. We will obviously...
Okay, not sure how I've managed to do that.
We will obviously.
I will
get
sort that out as
various
soon as I
issues
can.
sorted.
Apologies for the Xbox Tigers. That is, of course, going to delay their stream. Apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. We will get this sorted as soon as we can. Being this is the first time I've ever actually streamed to YouTube, it's going to cause a little bit of a hiccup. I'll try and sort that pronto. Right, so Hamish, if you talk us through what's going on in qualifying, because unfortunately the stream at the moment can't see anything because they have the pause menu in front of them, whilst I try and sort out the stream side.
That's absolutely fine. So, we have all the drivers in the pits. Now, this is going to be an interesting qualifying session on the PC, because I'm told, and I believe, that Kodiak, you can actually carry on streaming on the stream you're on.
Okay.
So I'm told that the favoured race strategy is starting on the super softs, but obviously the fastest are the ultra soft tyres. So we are led to believe that we should see quite a few drivers deciding to qualify on the super soft tyres, the slower compound. I mean, the super softs will last about 10 laps in the race, whereas the ultra softs will last as little as 4 laps, maybe even 3 qualifying run. So it's obviously quite a major difference. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys decide to qualify on. Apparently wet conditions are also 1, very likely, and 2, very challenging.
I see. Seems to be a bit of a confusion over the stream keys. That's what's causing a confusion. That's why the streams are not quite right. But we'll see what's going on.
I do believe our stream was labelled PC. I'm not sure if you labelled that, Kodiak.
No, that's not myself, no.
But hopefully we can have all the issues sorted, so thank you very kindly for waiting around. Obviously, it's the first time we've ever, streamed this way before, so hopefully you will forgive us, and hopefully, as well, it's going to be a nice platform to continue on. Looks like Sergo, he's a first guy out on the track. He is currently on a lap. No, I don't think. I think he's at the end of his out lap. About 2 minutes and 20 seconds it takes to do a full out lap here. So it is a pretty long track at 7 kilometres. He's coming across the line about his flyer.
Okay, well, I'm being told to kind of carry on exactly as Hamish mentioned earlier. So. Welcome to those that are in the chat with us. Blue Bay 7 was the first to comment besides ourselves, so welcome to you. And Duppy and Wycombs have spoken up in chat as well. Welcome to those that have joined us. We're currently looking at Sergo, who's one of the first on track, I believe, in the McLaren. Most people out. The only person that is still in the pit is... there's 2 of them. Renegade and Timp are in the pit at the current position, current time. Just getting that. Obviously, because I was looking at seeing what was going on with the stream, I haven't had a look at who's where, so I do apologise for that. Let us see who is where. Sergo, you've got me saying it now, Segro.
Oh dear.
I'm blaming you for that one. Right, so just sorting out my windows here. Where is Segro? He is coming down to, I think that is the campus chicane. Yes, it is. So he will be coming through 14-15 now down to 13-14 now 15 and then Stabilo. Round that absolutely flat. Everyone on the ultra softs at the present time. And yeah, so we're getting reports of the I think you mentioned earlier that the super softs are quicker than the ultra softs from the second lap onwards.
Yes, the super soft, the ultra softs are an awful race car around this track. However, Wycombs has pointed out, and he is an AOR driver veteran, as well as a veteran in general. He's just an all-round guy. He has pointed out that no one is likely to qualify on the super soft, so it'll be interesting to see if that remains true or not. Apparently, the fastest laps we should be seeing is a 42.3. I would imagine that's going to be somewhat close to pole. Danny's been able to get a 42.6, so that's a solid opener. And Tip has just got a 42.5. Very good.
Race winner last time out in the house, Topai. I mean, he was absolutely untouchable last week in Hungary. 1:42.5. Brendan Lee of course, our esports champion in the Red Bull, 142.6, not experiencing the same technical difficulties he did last time out, so that is good to see. I'm sure he's happy with that as well, but we'll be pushing on. Formula Danny, currently in the third spot in the second Haas. Sven Cerner was the first man to put it on pole in the Renault with that 142.8. Then it's Max, AFC 143.3. Then Slick in the next McLaren, 143.3 as well. So you've got several clumps that are quite close together at the moment, but we will see how that comes up. Riker Gordon with a 207. I'm pretty sure he can do better than that. He must have either made a mistake or got held up somewhere in his lap.
Yes, I would have thought so. I mean, this is such a long track. I mean, being held up around Spa is never normally an issue. But if all the drivers are timing it to the last minute, that's about, giving yourself, let's say for a last lap flyer, about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get an outlap, including preparing, and then a flyer. Oh, we see Fizzy go very wide as his teammate Fab Racer goes past. Who's yet to get a... We've got 5 drivers without a time. Fab Racer is one of them. He's on track. Oh dear, I've just seen lots of dust as we are currently looking at Fizzy. I'm assuming that is Fab Racer that is pushing a little bit too hard. Oh goodness me, he's got a Red Bull and a Mercedes already ahead of him. A new name that if he carries on.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, he could do. I mean, I don't know how much we already had on board. A new name that I don't recognise is Marcel Kiefer. So welcome to you, a reserve driver for this particular race in the Mercedes, it would seem. So yeah, a lot of people in the pits, but Spa being such a long track, you don't want to leave it too long before getting out there, because one mistake or being held up. Actually, almost everyone's back in the pits. Actually, only Kalon is. Kalon was the only car on track, and he's just come in. Actually, so everybody is in the pits. That's the first time actually this season we've had everybody that has been out and then come back in, and that's leaving us no one on track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's quite unusual. That usually doesn't happen. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, some tracks like Spa, because it's so long, you can only really get 2 runs in. So we'll probably see a lot of drivers going out last minute. Whether that means we're going to get traffic or not, we will find out fairly soon. And actually, as of yet, no cars have actually came out of pit. We're seeing the Red Bull of who is that? Someone going into the pits. We also see the Force India of Fizzy being pushed into the pits as well.
Someone's coming out. I can't see.
Toro Rosso?
I think it's a Toro Rosso. Yeah, I can't see. Unfortunately, they're behind the list of names, so I couldn't actually see what it is. It's Tim.
Out in the Supersoft.
Yes, that's interesting. So we've got a few people that have set their times on the Supersoft tyres. Nobody and non-runner having set their times 144.5 and 144.7 respectively. Tim coming out to do... Is he going to get 2 runs in? Yeah, he should do, shouldn't he? 4 minutes left to go from now. He'll get 2 runs in if he's fueled.
He'll be able to have 2 flying laps, definitely. He's fueled for 3.7, probably 4 laps. Yes, he could probably do 2 runs.
I wonder if that's what he's looking to do then. Yeah, so if the Supersoft take a while to warm up, that's probably what he's looking to do. So and now everybody is coming out. So we've got Formula Danny, Sven, Cerner, Slick, Marcel Kiefer, Segro, ACR Nobody, Riker Gordon, Car Renegade, ACR Raven, and Timp all out on circuit at the moment.
So, interestingly, Timp, Fab Racer, and Raven, they're really top drivers, and they've only given themselves 1 chance. They can't mess up. Raven's out on the Super Softs, interestingly. So is Timp.
And Car Renegades as well. So we've got...
opting to do that. The top runners seem to just want to improve, which is quite understandable. I mean, I think Super Softs are going to be considerably off a pace. Considerably as in, I don't know, they're probably about 1.5 seconds slower than the Ultra Soft tyres, so don't expect seeing any of the drivers on Super Softs getting pole.
Indeed. Oops, apologies there, just correcting my windows once more. So again, apologies for those that are looking for the export stream. There has been a slight error with getting that up and running. It is the first time we've tried to get multiple streams going on the AOR YouTube site, so we do apologise for that. We will keep this stream up and going. Everybody is now out. Everyone is on track. So we will see exactly how that transpires. Let's head to Sven Serner, who I think is on a timed lap. Or he's not listed as on an out lap, so he's coming to the end of his out lap, I believe, in the Renault. Currently fourth, 148. Oh, sorry, 142.8. 148 sounds more like a lap time, I would say. He's on the ultra softs, as you can see, and his best was also done on the same. So he's looking to get rid of those ultra soft PDQ, and that's one of the McLarens behind him into La Source. Hard on the throttle, kick the tail out. Now this track becomes even more interesting in the wet than some tracks do. Just the amount of undulation you've got.
Yeah, the thing with Spa is it's got, like you said, but undulation is so immense and there's so much high speed bits. If you lose it in the wet, you really lose that. I mean, you're probably going to the wall. I mean, there's not exactly room for error down Camel Straight. I mean, you know, you probably should be crashing down Camel Straight, but if you're side by side in Eau Rouge, well, in real life we've seen some pretty nasty accidents there. So.
But the issue is, if you make a mistake from La Source up through Eau Rouge, you're carrying that mistake a very, very long way. Even in these things, then 200 miles an hour plus. It's such a big distance between La Source and the next major braking zone, which is the end of Camel Straight, Le Com. You carry that, you lose such a considerable amount of time as Tim jumps into 8th position on the super soft tyres with that 1:43.4. So we're just waiting for 4 cars to set their times. Of course, Sky Renegade, ACR Raven, RC Fab Racer, and ACR Failer. Where is our current poleman? Max, I think, has just... Oh, it might have been Marcel, actually, that jumped up to 5th position with a 1:42.9. Where is our poleman? There he is, Topar. He's got a Sauber right in front of him. That's not going to start his lap well. He could get a bit of a slipstream. I mean, that's how close he is. It's Max that's already ahead of him. Max is not looking to... Oh dear, we've lost Marcel. That's not usually good if you've got a yellow flag. Oh, he's decided just to pull off. Maybe he hit the wall. We've obviously got yellow flags there. We don't know who's caused them, whether it was actually Marcel.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
Carlos okay.
I mean, he's pulled off in a safe position. You know,
interesting.
You don't usually see incidents there. Anyway, that's how it is. Danny, surprisingly, he's only 4th. I said only 4th.
We have a new poleman. It's Sven Serner by 0.003 of a second.
Brendan and Topa, look how close they are. Christ.
Oh, again, yeah, you've got, it's not even half a tenth between Brendan Lee and Topar at the moment, but Sven Serner by 0.003 of a second has just taken the pole time. Max has retired. Has he had trouble somewhere? Oh, he's had a problem heading down to the campus chicane and decided to park it in a safe place. That is fair enough. We've got failures actually in the pits, has not set a time. Where's Fabrizio Donoso? There he is. He's coming into the bus stop chicane. So where will this lap lead him? Let's follow him through. 2 minutes for people to finish their qualifying time, and it is invalid. So that is where he starts. He will start. He will not get any luck, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, Failer hasn't had any sort of issues in the steward's room. So unfortunately, that's just how it is sometimes. Renegade is doing not that brilliantly. His lap's pretty much abandoned. He will start probably P12. I don't think anyone else. He can't be overtaken by anything. Anyone else still on lap?
Slick, yeah.
Coming over the last corner, he's going a little bit quicker actually than he was last time. Is he going to move up position? No, he has just gone 2 tenths faster. There's quite a big gap actually from sort of fourth to 5th is relatively considerable. Usually
3 tenths, yeah.
You see 3 tenths is usually the top 10 on the PC.
that is what it's been like this season. 3 tenths has actually been quite a hefty amount of positions, and as highlighted between, for instance, the distance between the top 4. That's not even a tenth and a half between Sven Serner and Formula Danny. Then you've got the distance between Marcel and Slick is what, 18 thousandths of a second between those two.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 tenths back to Cadon. So yeah, but then that is to be expected. Spa is such a challenging track, and its pure length means that you will have these kind of bigger differences, or bigger potential for differences in these cars.
However, Kalon down to Raiko, I mean, is fairly tiny. I mean, on a track as long as Spa, 7 kilometers. I mean, you are going to see much bigger gaps. Apologies if you've already said Kodiak, but Fizzy's teammate RC Fab Racer, he is one of the. Well, I say he's one of the top guys, although he simply hasn't had the luck recently. He's also starting down there. He came second in the esports, Denoso, and Sven, he gets pole in Spa. Awesome job from him. Topar always up there. He's just 2,000ths behind. Behind him, we have Brendan Lee, Formula Danny, Marcel Kiefer, Slick, Kalon, Mac, FC46, Timp, Sergo, rounding out the top 10, Raven, Renegade, Non-Runner, Nobody, Raiko Gordon, Busy, Fab Racer, and of course, Vela. Both of those didn't set a lap time, so it'll be interesting to see how they can slice through the field in the race, or if they can get through the field in the race. So Kodiak for the start as we just wait for the players to. Oh, I seem to have.
Oh, you've dropped out again. If you're going to have a problem, it always seems to be there for you.
I know, that's very odd. Well, it looks like I have dropped out, so I shall be watching the stream with everybody else.
Oh, your invites died as well?
Yeah, no, you don't. Unfortunately, you don't actually get them.
Oh, so Hamish. Oh, well, you can...
trackside banter.
Right then, so we are just waiting for our drivers to ready up then. Any last changes they want to make, now is the time to do it, but they will be forced into a starting position within the next few seconds. Ready or not, here they come. Right then, down to the line. The lights, 3, 4, 5. Wind them up and let them go. Sven is going to try and hang on to that lead. He's defending against Brendan already behind him. Topar's a decent start. Marcel Kiefer is up a position as well. Oh, look at that around the outside. That is Topar that has got the lead. He's managed to do it as well. What a stunning start by the Mercedes. Brendan is up to third. And that former dummy form, he's managed to keep Marcel Kiefer behind him. And Non-Runner is gaining a loser position as well. Now that's Sven Serner trying to get an outside. Oh my goodness me, that is so close on the camel straight between himself and the Mercedes. 3 wide heading down to Lecom. Is Brendan going to have a dive on the inside? He thinks better of it, but he's going to force Sven into a defending position, and Sven forces Brendan Lee off the road. Oh, and what a move then by Brendan Lee to retain the position. Sven's lost a couple on that coming through Lecom down to Bruxelles, and he's now really having to keep. That is Slick that's directly behind him. What a bad what started well for Sven has gone badly now as the lap progresses.
Yes, I'm afraid the lag on YouTube seems to be quite significant, so I'm quite a significant
wonderful
type behind you. So I'm afraid that I will be more of a strategy call-out as I see it.
We're looking at that Slick and Timp that was side by side. Then Timp's had a fairly decent start considering he's on the harder tyre. If we get the position change up, you can see that is the view from the McLaren Slick. Well, we'll be very briefly. Look at the train of cars that's actually behind Tim. He is away. He's getting away from the McLaren, so he's had a very good start indeed. He's up 3 positions from his original start. Great stuff on the harder tyre. Let's jump back up to race leader Timp. He's already got 6/10 on Brandon Lee. I said it again. I was told off for calling him Brandon. It is incorrect. It is Brendan Lee. I will get my head around doing that. Marcel Kiefer and Sven Serner are side by side. Look at that further back. That is the Slick and Max are side by side. These Sauber diving on the inside of McLaren at La Source. Can he hold on to it though? I mean, look at the gaggle of cars there. The field's so tightly compact. It just feels like there's going to be an incident at any moment on board with the McLaren. He's had to back off coming through Eau Rouge. He's just about kept it on the black stuff, but surely now is going to be an opportunity for Slick to get past. Matt's going for the defensive line. Slick now going to the outside. Can he keep it there? Is Matt's going to defend the inside at Lecom? He does, and that is a successful defensive move by the Sauber.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the drivers on the Supersoft compound tyres will do now, because they are obviously in a much better position than the guys on the Ultrasoft. So I think we are going to see some people from the back being quite significantly closer to the front by the end of the race.
Brendan is really keeping the pressure on Topar at the moment. Now, Topar got into the lead. Now, bearing in mind, we did have some technical difficulties last time around, which actually meant Topar had to get a decent start from. It was actually Fabrizio Donato that was our pole man last week, but Topar just had a stunning start every single time we went through the race, and he just sprinted off into the distance. But that is what it looks like from Brendan's perspective, and that's Marcel that's slipped down a position, actually losing a position to Tim. My goodness me, the super soft shot Toro Rosso is sprinting away. He's up to 5th position ahead of the Mercedes. He is having bearing in mind he's on the harder compound tyre, he's having a whale of a time.
Yeah, I mean...
no, Marcel's in! Oh my, he must have suffered damage then. You can actually see there's elements missing on the front of his wing. That's why he's come in. Oh, what a terrible debut for Marcel's. Off comes that front wing. Oh dear, that explains everything.
Yeah, Kodiak, I am going to shoot off and let you do the commentary because it is pretty significant.
Right,
on
you
the
are.
Sidelines.
What
I will be back to provide analyse the race after pretty much when it's over.
Right, you are. Thank you anyway, Hamish. Apologies for your technical difficulties, but we will catch you at the end of the race, good sir. Right, so it is just myself then, as unfortunately Hamish disconnected just as the race was due to begin due to the lag difference in YouTube. It does make commentary rather much impossible. Oh my goodness me, look how Brendan Lee coming through. You saw the tail just kick out on that turn 11, heading down towards Pouan. Has lost him some momentum, and Topar now really getting to his stride, nearly a second ahead. He's nearly outside of DRS range already of the Red Bull. And Formula Danny is right there, keeping the pressure on Brendan Lee. Svensson is not too far behind either, but Timp now has quite a big gap. He's got 3 seconds, give or take, between himself and Svensson. So we're going to see, I would imagine, Tim's early progress probably stall at this point. There is Tim. He has lost a car directly behind him, so Max could well close that gap down a bit. Bear in mind that Max is on the ultra soft tyres, so we will see if Tim is able to do anything about that. And look at that, the Mercedes of Topar does indeed have a second's gap. He has managed to break the DRS of Brendan Lee, who's got that Haas all over his tail. Now, Brendan unfortunately had to start from the back of the pack last time due to a disconnection issue on. So he had a disconnection issue right at the beginning of qualifying, which meant he had to start from the back of the field. That's the view from the back of the Red Bull. Is Formula Danny going to have a move just as the camera changed? And you saw Brendan just go for a little bit of a defensive maneuver there just to try and keep the Haas behind him. And successful defensive maneuver. Whoops! And I think it was Brendan that touched the grass. It does look like now that Formula Danny is going to be in a offensive position pretty soon. So he comes through turn 11, now heading down towards Pouan again. And as they come through, and you can see then that Brendan Lee is really pushing that Red Bull to try and do something about the gap in front as opposed to the gap behind. Formula Danny choosing to take a less aggressive line through Pouan. Oops! As he touches the outside there, loses a little bit of momentum. Now we've got some position changes further down. As Fabrizio Donatus on the soft tyres. Now that I didn't expect to see, but of course he started at the back of the field. That is Renegade and Kalon. You can actually see further up. That was quite a good camera. Let's switch back to the onboard. So just ahead of Kalon is Carl Renegade in the Ferrari against Slick in the McLaren. Oh my goodness me, the super soft tyres coming alive on that Ferrari, and blast past through Blanchimont and into the... Oh, we're still side by side as they come into the bus stop chicane. That's surely going to be advantage Ferrari, and Slick, it comes into the pits. Oh goodness me. We've seen some very early pit stops, but as Hamish did allude that these ultra soft tyres are not going to last. We're probably going to see a lot of pit stops very, very soon, as if we head to the tyre chart, that's all the runners that are on the Ultrasoft, and the game can't decide which tyre that McLaren's going to go on. It does look to be softs, so he's looking to take that to the end of the race. I said back up to our front runners. And look at that, the gap that Topaz got for himself. He's capitalising on the fact that, oh, look at that, Sven Serner keeping the pressure of Formula Danny as Formula Danny runs wide through Lecom now, coming into Bruxelles. Oh my goodness me, that is so very close. And the Renault's got the position at the moment. Can the Haas hold on? We've got trouble. And we've lost Raven. We've lost one of the Williams. As Sven Serner has taken the position. There is Raven. He's gone. He's got 3 wheels on that wagon. I can't entirely tell where that is. Between sectors 1 and 2. So that's at Lecom, I think. Oh, goodness me. What a shame for Raven, the first casualty of the race. But what a move by Sven Serner. And goodness me, he's left Formula Danny for dead. That's nearly a second already. But then, again, if those Ultrasofts are completely dead, that would explain it. And Tim now only has 1.7 seconds to close down to get to the back of Formula Danny. But he may not have to push too hard to make that on-track overtake if those Ultrasofts are going to burn out as quickly as we think. Now, we've already seen pit stops getting rid of those Ultrasoft tyres. Look at the range of tyres that we've got. You know, Ultrasofts, Supersofts, and Softs all on at the same time. And Raven has left the session. I can understand he's probably very, very frustrated. And race leader Topar, or former race leader Topar, is in. Brendan, Sven Serner, Formula Danny and Timp have chosen to continue. Well, Timp obviously will because he's on the harder tyre. Max is coming in as well, along with Kalon. So that is ditching the Ultrasofts, and it's the soft tyres on the Mercedes of Topar. We will see how that pays off for him later on. Let's jump back up to Sven Serner, who seems to be having a bit of a charge. Getting past Formula Danny, that is what it looks like for the top 3 now. Well, just about saw Timp in the background of that. He's really on form to do very, very well. What's the position change for Tim? He's up 5 positions. Actually, Fab Donaso is up 11 positions. He's up 6th position now. So that choice of starting on the soft tyres is really paying off for him at the moment. Of course, he'll have to come in at some stage. But that is really doing him well, and he desperately needs the points. He's had such a bad run of luck since joining the league. He's had 4 races with us and failed to finish 3 of them and finished out the points in the last. So he will be very happy for some points. As Topar is making some moves to get through. Oh, goodness me, that was Riker Gordon in the Ferrari getting very, very out of shape. On that would be turn 11. I think he just got on the grass and got a bit greedy on the gas, as he's already come past ACR Nobody. Now I'm just going to jump back up to the top. Then Sven Serner is now half a second between himself and the lead. Is he going to be able to close Brendan Lee down before they pit? That is going to be the question. Let us see how he does them. I'm curious to know. A little bit of lag there for Brendan. We're going to see. I'm curious to see when these guys are going to pit. We saw Topar, and at the same time, that's what I thought. Is Danny in as well? No, Danny has chosen to continue. That's surely too long. And so, oh no, Sven Serner couldn't keep that Renault under the speed limit in time. That's a big old penalty he's got for himself. As that Secret that's also coming in the McLaren. There is Timp. He's already within a second of Formula Danny. It's not going to be out of possibility that he's going to reel him in on track before Formula Danny gets the pit. It's all going to be down to how long these Supersofts last for. That's really going to be the golden question. But let us see then where everyone else is. 4 seconds down to Carl Renegade, who's currently running in 3rd in the Ferrari. He's on the Supersofts as well. For Richard Donazer in 4th then, and being that he's on the hardest compound, I thought the tail was getting a little bit lively there. It could have been just a camera angle. He's come through. He's in 4th position. He's had a great start, along with Failer. Actually, both of those guys started at the back of the field without having set a lap. Both of them up 13 positions. A lot of it due to pit stops, I grant you, but both of them were in a pretty good position before people started pitting. There is Fizzy. He is in 6th position, also on the hard tyre. There is Topar. He's been through the pits, as we know. Oh, Failer's run very, very wide. That's gifted. 2 positions. He's lost 2 positions, rather. 1 to Fizzy, 1 to Topar. Fizzy did not choose to defend against Topar. You can't really blame him. He'll know that Topar's been through the pits already. And that is Topar then up to 5th position. Let's jump back up to where our leaders are. Surely Formula Danny, who's now only got half a second between himself and Timp behind. Surely he's going to come in now. He's got to come in now. And he does. The Haas is now choosing this point to get rid of those tyres, and that leaves the championship leader Timp back in the lead. or I say in the lead of the race, and back in a challenging position. Let's see what the Haas gets fitted. It's going to be soft tyres, I would have thought. That seems to be what everyone is going for, and again the game can't decide which colour it's going to be. I think it's softs on him. Let's just get the tyre mark, and it is indeed. Looks like everyone's going to the soft tyre, and that's a long way down the Formula. Danny finds himself in 11th place, just ahead of Max. That's a long way back. He's left that too long. I would have thought that he needed to have come in before now. So let's have a look at as I say, this battler. Fizzy is actually hanging on to the back of Topar pretty well. Assuming that Topar has already pitted. Oops, slight touch on the grass there for Fizzy. Look at that behind. That is ATR Nobody with his teammate Brendan Lee. That's either Nobody doing a strategic give back there, or he's just run too wide. I think it's the latter, because he's allowed the charging Renault of Sven, who has got himself that 5-second penalty. That will hurt at this point in time with the field so closely condensed. And you can see then the next couple of cars, that is Failer and Fizzy up ahead in 6th and 5th respectively. We'll see how quickly that the Red Bull... Ooh, Brendan running a little bit wide on the exit of the camper chicane. Ooh, and then Sven did exactly the same thing on turn 15 heading into Stavolo. So they are pushing very, very hard to try and maintain the rate of knots they are. Let's have a look a little bit further down the field. Riker Gordon hanging on to the last point-paying position with Formula Danny there as well. Now race leader Tip is in. Now that's interesting. I did not expect to see Tip in so soon, but he did qualify on those tyres, so it could be that he has burned the best out of them as Car Renegade now takes the lead. Fabrizio Donzo now a second. The Red Bull of Brendan Lee taking the fastest lap, 1:46.666, number of the beast, etc. So only 2 cars still on the super soft tyres, Max and race leader Car Renegade. And where's that going to put Tim? That puts him in 11th, right behind Formula Danny. So my earlier prediction that Danny left it too long may not necessarily be correct, as the Haas tucked right under the Ferrari. Up through Eau Rouge and now onto the Camel Straight. He's got the pace on the Ferrari, but the Ferrari of course having the inside line. Let's see what's going to happen at this point. And that looks like his job done. Raiko not defending that one, and that is the Haas through into 9th position then, as Failer and Brendan Lee. Oh no, Fabrizio Donzo's got himself a penalty. Failer's just lost the position to Brendan Lee. And look at that. Oh, Sven getting very, very out of position, out of situation there. Well, he could have been slightly put off by Failer. Look how close the Renault is. Renault jumping to the inside for the camper chicane, and oh goodness me, that's Brendan overtaking Fizzy through the camper chicane. That's belief in the pace that you've got. Oh, we've lost Marcel Kiefer in the Mercedes. Oh goodness me, where is that? I have absolutely no idea where that is. That is, oh, there's a pill on, he's facing the wrong way. Oh no, what a shame for the Mercedes, a second victim of the race. What a great shame. Formula Danny and ATR Nobody have swapped position. So the Red Bull has lost that position to the Haas as Renegade comes in from the lead. It's surely going to be soft tyres for him. It is looking that way. Again, multi-changing colour tyres, and away they go on the soft tyres. He's going to come out worse than 11th, it seems. Where is Renegade going to appear? It's going to be... There's Seagroves, so that's 15th for Renegade then. And Fabrizio Donaso leads the race then. But he's got a charging Topar very, very shortly behind him, and Donaso has not pitted, but he will be on softer tyres towards the tail end of the race. That's Tim and Riker Gordon swapping position through they come as well. So a fairly standard braking manoeuvre for the Toro Rosso. Again, he's not got far to go before he's fighting a fairly decent pack of cars as ATR Nobody in the next Red Bull. And then you've got Formula Danny and Fizzy respectively 7th and 6th. Not too far down the road, so Tim has got potential of gaining quite a few positions very, very quickly, but I want to keep an eye on this battle here. This is for the lead. Topar and Fabrizio Donaso heading down towards, that's 15 in Stavolo, I think. Yes, it is. Now, when is... I would imagine Fabrizio is not going to pit for a while, as he started on those soft tyres. But it all depends how much pace he's going to lose, though. Whoops. As you can see now that Topaz now just about gotten within DRS range of the Pink Panther. So it does look like that position is going to change fairly soon, or Fabrizio Donso is going to have to start really defending. There in the background, Brendan Lee and Sven Zerner are crossing swords once again. Formula Danny has dispatched the Force India of Fizzy as well. I'm surprised actually we've got so many cars in such short succession still at this point in the race, and such a track as long as Spa. So this is providing some great racing up and down the field. It's just difficult to keep up with it all. Now Fizzy has yet to come in, so it's a fairly safe conclusion he's not going to be able to hang on to the back of the Haas ahead of him. But looking up at the lead battle, it's now just 6/10 between the Mercedes and the Force India. Less than that now, as Riker Gordon and Max AFC swap positions as well. That's 11th and 10th. Jump on board with the Mercedes. He's reeling in. Donoso, as it did look like the tail of that Force India did not want to stick. But he has kept it on the road. So we have lost a couple already. We lost ACR Raven and Marcel Kiefer, Williams and Mercedes respectively. And they come down to the campus chicane. And now Topar is breathing down the neck of Fabrizio Donoso. Topar has pitted, that we know. But if the Pink Panther keeps that Mercedes at bay, that could allow Brendan Lee and Sven Zerner to close that gap down. Topar knows he just has to bide his time. He'll know that the car ahead of him is of course slower, but he'll more than likely surmise he hasn't pitted. And Fabrizio Donoso still defending the positions. They come into the bus stop chicane. Oh, a bit of wheel banging going on. Is Topar going to push him wide? No, he loses the tail. And the lead is still pink at the moment, but Topaz had a very decent amount of traction coming out of the bus stop chicane. Now on the outside of Les Sources rather, and he has got the lead. That is Topar back in the lead of the race, but less than 2 seconds now is that combination behind. That is the Red Bull of Brendan Lee and the Renault of Sven Zerner. Now is Topar's opportunity. He has got to run, but there is nothing to say that this man is not going to start challenging for the lead if he gets the opportunity. A little bit of a lock-up coming into Les Com. That is not going to help his charge, but it is more than likely with the amount of lockups we're seeing. We saw Fabrizio lock up. Oh, that was Topar locking up there on the entrance of Bruxelles. That is not going to help, and that's going to give Fabrizio Donoso a bit of a chance. Oh, again we saw him going wide on that turn 11. But keeping the pressure on will force Topar into defensive manoeuvres if he can keep up with that Mercedes in the crucial areas. 1.5 then separates Donoso and Brendan Lee. So there's a battle that's waiting to happen. It all depends on when Fabrizio Donoso pits. Another person to keep an eye on is Tim. Oh, Riker Gordon's fallen to the field. What's happened to him? Oh, he's off. The Ferrari is off. That is around, I think that's the campus chicane. It is, as the McLaren of Seguro. Oh, goodness me, that's the tail. Is that a puncture on the Ferrari? No, all 4 tyres look like they're still inflated. But he's struggling then, is Riker Gordon. With only non-runner, who we haven't really seen all race long, is the only car behind. Jump back up to the battlers up front. There are your top 4. Topar leading the way now, over a second ahead of Fabrizio Donoso. As Fizzy has come in, he has decided to get rid of those starting tyres and go for the Super Softs. Or one assumes he's going to go for Super Softs. I fail to see what other options. We know the Ultra Softs are not going to last, and it is indeed the Red Mart Super Softs going on that Force India, and that is going to leave Fizzy quite a way down, unfortunately. But on softer rubber, we will see what he is able to do from there. Back up to the front, Topar again now stretching a lead for himself out front. Brendan Lee and Sven Zerner has been in DRS range of the Red Bull since they came out of their respective pit boxes. But Brendan Lee is in a prime attacking position on Fabrizio Donoso. Something that will please Brendan, no doubt. Again, Oh, Brendan's got himself a penalty. That looked a little bit harsh. He looked like he was on track at the point we were looking at him, but it may look different from his perspective as he runs a little bit wide at Puon. Very, very easily done. That is going to hurt, though, unless he is able to... Oh, goodness me, he had to get out of that coming through Campus, otherwise he was going to slam into the back of the Force India. And again, you saw Fabrizio Donoso running wide on the exit of the Campus chicane. Now through 15, now through Stavolo. Surely Brendan is going to have the pace to blast past the Force India. Oh, there was a bit of lag there. We saw Brendan lag a bit earlier, so I suspect it was him as opposed to Donoso. And the Force India defending the inside, coming into the bus stop chicane. Is he going to come in now? He does indeed. But the damage is done. He's held up Brendan Lee. He's put him right in the clutches of Sven Zerner. Brendan Lee still has DRS because he was in the detection zone of Fabrizio Donoso. Fela is in and ACR Nobody is in as well. So 3 people coming in at the moment. Sven Zerner not able to catch up enough to the Red Bull to do anything about that position. And Fabrizio Donoso has pitted onto the Supersoft tyres as expected. Segro is in as well, I think. Positions are changing here, there and everywhere. Riker Gordon's in. ACR Nobody. Fela. Oh, goodness me, that's side by side with Segro for Donoso. He couldn't get the pace down when he needed it. And through then goes the McLaren into 9th position. But all eyes at the moment here for 2nd and 3rd. Brendan Lee in the Red Bull. Sven Zerner in the Renault. Brendan's already got himself a penalty. Sven just needs to behave himself and he will, if he can stay within. Oh, and there's a penalty for Fabrizio Donoso, unfortunately. Oh, no sooner do I say that about keeping it on the black stuff. Sven Zerner then goes a little bit wide, coming through Puon. These tyres must be feeling a bit second hand to them already. And again wide coming through the Campus chicane. But it does look like Brendan is able just to stretch his legs on the Renault at the moment. We'll see if he's able to continue the momentum. They've been within a second. The Renault has been within DRS range of that Red Bull for the last 8 or so laps. So Brendan's going to work very, very hard to try and shake off that charging Renault. Oh, big lockup coming into the bus stop chicane though. That's not good. Closing up under braking, of course. And Brendan Lee maintaining that gap to the Renault. And Formula Danny has got himself the fastest lap in the Haas. There he is. He's got his eyes on the prize. He's got his eyes on that podium ahead. Now his championship, as Donoso again gets another penalty. Now his main championship rival, ACR Tim, the main championship leader, is behind him. They're by 1 position. There's an 8-point gap between the two. It's Fizzy! Oh, now that's something I haven't said for a while. Fizzy getting himself the fastest lap in the Supersoft Shop Force India. Don't count out the ones at the back because they're having a good old battle. We can actually jump back there. They're having quite a battle back here. That is Fela and Non-Runner, you can see. Also having another battle is right here. Car Renegade and Max AFC. I think the Ferrari jumped ahead of the Toro Rosso earlier on. Toro Rosso due to the Sauber, beg your pardon. Sauber looking to get a decent handful of points that this race. That 15 to 22, but already streaming towards the tail end of the race. So people are running out of time to try and make a move. Again, keeping an eye on this battle for 2nd position. Topar is at 2.8 ahead of Brendan Lee at the moment. So it is going to take a mistake really from Topar to allow these two to close the gap down, and that's really what we saw last week as well. Topar just got out into the, actually was more domination from Topar last week. He just got into the lead and legged it. He was absolutely untouchable. Again, a big lockup there from the Renault. Interesting, he seems to be struggling to slow that car down. There's Formula Danny in the background there. Let's see what the gap is. 3 seconds just over between the Renault and the Haas. Now, if these two are going to start fighting again within half a second of one another, that is going to pull Formula Danny kicking and screaming into this battle. We have got just under 7 laps to go. And ACR Nobody gets himself a penalty. He's in 15th at the moment, so he's pushing hard to try and do something in that 4-car train he's got himself into the back there. Let's have a quick look at that. That is what it looks like. On board with him, it is Fader, Fizzy, and himself, Nobody. And that is Non-Runner at the head of this particular train. Just going up Eau Rouge is Kalon. So there's a big gaggle of cars there. They're having a battle all to themselves. And the battle between Max and Renegade seems to have divided. Seems to have split up, so to speak. So mainly keeping an eye on this battle here. And again, doesn't look like that. Now this could be, I would imagine this is mainly setup differences. It seems that Brendan is able to just edge Sven out at certain points. They both run a little wide on the exit of Pouhon. On the exit of Campus Chicane, I beg your pardon. And then you see Sven start to reel in Brendan primarily at the end of this section. After Blanchimont and after the bus stop Chicane, you see Svensson is within a couple of tenths. Oh, we've got a problem. We have got a problem with Fizzy and Non-Runner, and Non-Runner is off at Pouhon. Fizzy's still going, so he lost a position. So I think Fizzy and Non-Runner came together. I saw Fizzy had actually lost a position as well. So, oh goodness me, the second Renault of Non-Runner is not having a happy day then as he jumps across the chicane at Campus. And you see, I think I was actually racing to Topar in the background perhaps? No, that's the Ferrari of Racker Gordon. Beg your pardon. Oh dear, it is still going off then. 5 laps to go here at Spa Francorchamps. It is absolutely flown by. Just under 6 tenths separate second and third. There you've just seen Ratier to Topar disappear out of the shot. 3 seconds now between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Sven not able to close in enough on Brendan Lee at the moment. Just behind them is a Non-Runner's coming to the pits. That'll be no doubt due to damage with that tangle with Fizzy, either as a direct result of the impact or impact with the wall. We didn't really see what occurred there. Formula Danny in 4th position in the Haas. A healthy haul of points are waiting for him. Timp started on the Supersofts, led for a while and finds himself in 5th position, 3.8 down from his main championship rival, Car Renegade, in the Ferrari. Still with Max AFC in short succession, but he's getting some gap on the Sauber. Slick in the McLaren in 8th position. Segro, the second McLaren, in 9th position. Fab Donaso just about a second behind the next McLaren. Can he recover some points or recover some places? He has got a couple of penalties though, so he's really going to have to get on with it. Kalon in 11th. We've lost Rico Gordon. Oh no! Oh, in a very big way. That is, I think that is on the exit of Pouhon heading down to the Campus Chicane. Oh dear, oh dear. Failer holds off ACR Nobody for 12th position. There you see Fizzy in the background. An ultra soft shod Non-Runner. Well, why not? May as well go for the fastest lap in the closing stages. There is jumping back up to the Renault and Red Bull combination. Now you see that gap does look distinctly bigger between Brendan Lee and Sven Zerner. And ATR Nobody actually gets the fastest lap in the next Red Bull on Superstar tyres. I would expect Non-Runner to break that, but we will see what happens as the race draws to a close. Who else shall we see? Let us jump down to Fabrizio Donaso, who is closing in on Segro as they come on to... That's not a great camera. Let's try that one. Jumps onto the Camel Straight within DRS range of the McLaren ahead. A bit of a lock up there, but nothing too drastic. He's trying to close in Segro to get into a points paying position, but he's going to have to overcome his penalties. Great battle here. This is Kalon Failer and ACR Nobody. Toro Rosso, Sauber and Red Bull respectively. We can jump on board with the Red Bull. Goodness me, he had to get out of that a little bit to avoid slamming into the back of Failer. This is Kalon's, I think, serving as a bit of a cork in the bottle here as he's on the slower tyre. Ooh, Failer does look like he's just trying to find an opportunity to get past that Toro Rosso, but just cannot find a way to do it. ATR Nobody lying in wait to see if there's an issue ahead of him as they come through Savalo. And look at Failer, he is just trying his best to make his car as big as he can in Kalon's mirrors. But still, Kalon holds him off. As Kalon now gets to the... Looks like he was going to defend the inside line. Failer looking like he's going to try and take that line into the bus stop. But 80 on Nobody's flown through on the outside. He can't hold it though. And the Sauber is still trying to keep him at bay. Now side by side in towards the source. And 80 on Nobody tries to switch back. Can he slow it down? Yes, he can. It does look like job done. But they're still side by side then. That's going to give Kalon a little bit of Sven Cerner. Oh my goodness me. He's earned himself a 3-second penalty. That doesn't quite put him behind Formula Danny, but Formula Danny now has much less to make up as Failer gets himself a penalty. That's a shame. That kind of terminates his battle in a way. And ATR Nobody holds on to it. And there we go. There's the fastest lap by non-runner as I was expecting. 4 laps to go here at Spa. Goodness me. And wow, Nobody has already gone to have a bit of breathing space. There you saw. That's Fizzy that's just behind them. So Fizzy is now getting interested in this particular battle as well. It's not for points bearing position, unfortunately, but it is a battle nonetheless. Oh my goodness me, he was close to the wall. Oh, now, looking up front, Sven has lost the back of Brendan Lee, which means he's lost DRS. This is a potential problem for Sven. He could lose the podium here. We just saw that he's going to have a 3-second penalty. Formula Danny, I don't believe, has got himself... Oh, goodness me, you saw how he slid his way into the bus stop chicane. Again, the tail just does not want to behave. There is Formula Danny in the background. Formula Danny only has to close in about... Oh, it's half a second now. Sven Cerner is losing time on Formula Danny behind. If Formula Danny does not have a penalty, and I don't think he does, all he has to do is gain half a second in the next 3 laps, and he will get on the podium. That battle is not done by any stretch. Now, interestingly, Topar has got 2.2 seconds. He is actually losing time on the Red Bull. It all depends if Topar can just keep his cool, keep his head, and ignore the fact that Brendan Lee is closing in on him, because he's got to close in at a hell of a rate of knots to do anything about the position changes. We're seeing Kalon and ATR Nobody fighting for position side by side again. Oh my goodness me, 3 cars at that point, side by side. Now coming up Eau Rouge. Let's get on board with Failer. He's going to be a great camera car at this point. Kalon is still holding them up. And Failer now, is he going to try and get alongside Nobody? He's going to try and outbrake him. Oh, goodness me, he was trying to box ACR Nobody in, but he couldn't turn in. ACR Nobody had nowhere to go other than in the back of Kalon. He managed to avoid an impact. What a battle we've got. Fizzy's not far behind this particular battle either. Oh, and Kalon's run wide on the exit of Bruxelles. And that's the Red Bull through. Now, can Failer do anything about it? There's Fizzy looking to try and capitalise as well. So Fizzy could gain a few positions here. On board with the Sauber once again. Oh, Failer was very slow. Coming through Pill 1, that's going to put Fizzy straight in this case. There he is. As they come through campus, he backs off a little bit at the moment. Let's see what Fizzy is thinking at this point. And what's he going to do as they now come through Stavolo again. A little bit wide. On board as they now head through Blanchimont. Surely this is an opportunity then for Fizzy to try and nail Failer on the inside into the bus stop chicane. No, he decided not to do it. Obviously Fizzy will know how much life he's got, and Failer is in the pits. Oh goodness me, with 2 laps to go, Failer feels the need to get that car in the pits. What a shame. His race going from bad to disastrous. This is Max and Slick for 7th position. McLaren trying to do something against the Sauber. That's the centres we heard a lot in the 2017 season as well. As Slick's going to have that done before. Oh, there was an impact then at Lecom. There'll be a few words said about that, I imagine. And that is Slick through into 7th. That was a hell of a bang as well. Sven is falling. Sven has lost a lot of pace. Either he's got damage on that car that we don't see. I think he's just burned the best out of his tyres, because he's just got no traction anywhere, it looks like. He's run a little bit wide there. You've got 2 seconds back to Formula Danny. He is going to inherit that position. In the background there you see the Haas looming in the background. And just 1.7 separates Brendan Lee from Topar. One mistake is all it's going to be for Brendan to close that down. One mistake from Topar, I should say. And Topar knows he just has one more lap to go. Brendan knows he'll only have one more lap to go as well. But Topar knows he doesn't have to push too hard. But it's very easy for me to say that sitting here. It's a very much another thing. When you're under pressure, and you've got someone like Brendan Lee storming after you, gaining, lap on lap on lap, it's very easy to just be distracted at just the wrong moment. But that's what 1.7 seconds looks like to these things on the Camel Straight. Brendan will no doubt be very, very happy that he no longer has that Renault all over his tail. Whether Formula Danny is aware that he doesn't have to push too hard to come past Sven due to penalties, we don't know. As Brendan locks up a little bit coming into Bruxelles. Where should we look at? Oh, Max and Slick side by side on the Camel Straight. Max has got the position back again. Can he hold it? Coming through Lecombe. He does. The Sauber finds himself back in front of the McLaren again. And Fizzy has also nailed Kalon at exactly the same point. So Fizzy now up to 12th as a result of that. And the battle you just saw coming through, that's actually Fabrizio Donaso in 10th position ahead of ACR Nobody. Oh, we've got a problem. We don't know who. Oh, Seagrave's got himself a penalty. He's only a 3 second penalty. We don't know who the yellow flag was for. As you can see, the interface doesn't tell me who's generated the flag. Where is our race leader? There he is. Still 1.7 behind. So Brendan may well have opted to just bring the car home and not push too hard. A wise head on young shoulders. But for the second week in a row, 4th win of the season, the win goes to the Mercedes of Topar with Brendan Lee in second position in the Red Bull. Svensson crosses the line in third, but he's going to be demoted. There it is. Formula Danny promoted to third position in the Haas. Sven for Timp crosses the line in fifth. Car Renegade is going to cross the line in sixth position. There he is. Where is Max? Oh, side by side, still fighting with Slick. That was for seventh. Can he hang on to it? Of course, the penalties are now going to apply. And seventh goes to Max. Eighth goes to Slick. 9 to Seagrove. Fabrizio Donaso is going to fall down due to penalties. Yep, ATR Nobody gets promoted up to Fizzy gets promoted to 10th due to penalties. I wonder whether he expected that. He comes away with a point for the Pink Panthers. ATR Nobody was just as we see some bots having an argument there. So Fabrizio Donaso was put down to 12th. Kalon 13, and didn't get to see the last couple of positions as they ended a little bit quick. And Mr. Hamish, are you back with me, sir?
I am indeed. Wow, what a race. I mean, that was so close, wasn't it? I mean,
it was. There was so much battling going on all the way through.
Back-to-back wins as well. I mean, I didn't expect that. Max, I mean, do you know how many laps he was able to hold on to those tyres for? 15 laps. He got those super soft tyres to last for. I mean, me and Wycombs were saying in chat, I mean, we thought we were both pretty certain pit. I mean, that's pretty unusual. 15 laps is like, I'm amazed he didn't get a.
At Spa, I mean, 15 laps in some circuits is neither here nor there, but at Spa is very, very impressive.
I mean, he started on the ultra soft. I mean, the win for Topar couldn't have played better into his hands. I mean, Danny, he got third place in the end of Sven's penalty. It couldn't have really worked out better. I mean, Timp finished P5. Topar, Danny, another championship contender, he's in P3. So Topar's now only just 41 points behind the leader. I mean, you know, after DNS and DNF, he's really starting to close in. I mean, you know, he's still an esports finalist. So.
And if he carries on at that rate, he could well really bring himself back into that championship fight. It was Formula Danny gained 10 points on Timp, I think, now, hasn't he?
Looks like we have a special guest.
Oh, sorry, he's gained 5 points there.
Looks like we've got Brandon Lee in the...
Well.
Brendan, before he comes in, don't tell him I said that.
Secret safe.
I will move various drivers in for interviews. Kodiak, you are best doing the interviews as you actually covered them.
Yes. Well, who shall we speak to first? I think it's only fair to speak to our race winner, Topar. 4th win of the season, 2nd in a row. How are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, feeling pretty confident. I wasn't really sure how my pace was because I didn't have too much time to prepare, but yeah.
Wow. I mean, did you sort of think about the fact that you had Brendan Lee closing in on you in the last few stages, or were you quite confident that you had the pace, you had the gap to maintain that to the end?
Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't really matter who's behind you. You always try to maintain the gap, and yeah, I had enough gap to maintain it until the end. For like the past 2 laps, I saved my tires a bit and tried to not to slide on the second sector. Yeah, just bring it home.
Sure thing. Brendan Lee, welcome to the post-race interview. How was that for you?
Well, first off, congratulations for the win. He drove a great race and thoroughly deserved it. But it was quite frustrating for me personally because I had screen freezes all the way to lap 18. And if you go to lap 18, that's when I started closing. Well, after lap 18, that's when I started closing the lead. So it's a story of what could have been, but he deserved the win. So,
I mean, you were battling Sven for really since your pit stop up until the point that your game behaved itself and you then were able to floor it. So, I mean, what sort of pace do you feel that the win was in your reach?
It's hard to say because, as it showed in the first stint, once you're in dirty air and there's equal pace and like everybody in the league at the top is very equal because we're all F1 esports drivers, we're at the top of the game effectively, so it's quite hard to be able to overcome the dirty air, especially through the middle sector with the high speed turns. It's quite difficult to maintain the gap and stop sliding because the tyres were pretty much on a knife edge here, and a couple of laps in dirty air could have just sent them over the edge.
Do you feel there's greater pressure or greater expectation on your shoulders, particularly, Brendan, because of your esports success?
I think that depends who I'm battling, to be honest, because if we look at a lot of the top 10 from the F1 esports, we all could have won it. It just came down to who got the good qualifying effectively. And as Tomina has proved in the AOR leagues, he could have been up there, if not won it as well. So it depends, really. It depends, like I said, who's looking at you. I personally don't feel much more pressure. If anything, I feel more excited to do an AOR race than the F1 esports, if I'm honest with you. So it's just the way you look at it.
Fair dues, fair dues. Danny, how are you feeling after that one?
I'm feeling good because when I started the race, I told myself that I will be happy if I finish in any position of the podium. But to be honest, seeing my pace, it could have been maybe one better position. I couldn't really attack Lee, but at least I would have had a chance if I pit that lap when they pit. But I lost about 3 seconds in just one lap because I pit one lap later. I thought they will be in traffic, and that's why I thought it's a great idea. But again, like in Hungary, I lost 3 seconds just in one lap, and it doesn't worth it. So the tires at the end doesn't get that much better to get that back. And when I was behind Lee, it was very good because I got his slipstream on the straights, and I could keep the 0.8 seconds gap in the corners as well. I think I wouldn't have been able to overtake him, but at least I would have been closer. So that's why I was a little bit frustrated because of my pit stop. But all in all, as I told, I'm really happy to finish on a podium position when here is 9 esport guys, which is absolutely amazing in AOR. So again, thank you for fair racing to everyone, and congratulations to Topa, to the winner. And sorry for my English pronunciation, but I tried everything to say it right.
Were you aware that you got promoted into third due to Sven's penalty? Were you aware that that penalty was there, or were you just sort of concentrating on doing the best you could in the position you were in?
When it was only 5 laps left from the race, I was like, okay, I just try to defend against Imp. But when the race was 3 laps to go, and I had let 3.5 seconds gap behind Sven, I thought that, okay, I practiced with him a lot in that week, and all of the races he has got a 3 seconds penalty. So I thought, why not put it to Rich Mix and just try to get into 3 seconds gap? And I think he went with lean, because for an example, on the last sector I always gained like 4 tenths at him. So I was like, okay, just try it. I don't know anything, but I try to not just defend, I try to attack, and it's worth it. And I finished on the podium, so I'm very happy about that.
Good job, good job. And finally, Tim is with us in the box. How are you after that one, trying a different strategy for yourself? It started very well. Were you happy with the finishing position, or were you aiming for higher?
To be fair, I aim pretty much higher, because I thought that you can do more than 4 laps with fast laps with the ultra tops, but somehow the top guys were just so much faster, and they managed to do the good laps times with the ultras, so my tactic didn't work that well. But yeah, I did a lot of big mistake in there, that I didn't follow Danny to the pits. To be fair, like guess then I lost 1.5 seconds to Danny, and yeah, then there was a lot of cars between us, and yeah, I lost time in there. But yeah, I'm kind of happy. P5, I'm still leading the championship, but yeah, I expected more, to be fair. But yeah, after P9 on the qualifying, I can't really say that P5 is bad. But yeah,
it's a narrow.
Just one funny comment. I told it in Discord as well. On the quali, I usually do my outlaps with 64% or even more brake bias to not have any damage on the rear tire. And for my second round, I forgot it there. So I instantly logged up in the first corner, and I lost half a second.
Ouch.
And so it was my only first lap what counted. And that was another frustration, but all in all, it's just a funny story, but I think it doesn't matter on the result, because it was my pace, that's 3P, so...
And also, I must have had a slipstream glitch, because I didn't gain like anything on Camel. Like, then I must be like only one who had a slipstream glitch, because I was watching, I was behind, first it was behind Reiko Cordon, I didn't get anything on the Camel, and then I overtook him and just by braking later. Then I got fizzy, and I saw that Danny didn't have any problems overtaking him on Camel, but then when I was behind him, like, I didn't get, he even pulled away from me, like, insane, with DRS and stuff like that, like, with working slipstream, I will maybe catch Danny, I don't think so.
Yeah, in this track, slipstream is very weak everywhere, I guess. Even if
it wasn't in the practice. It was really high on the practice.
We're gonna have to wrap that up here, but just leaves me to thank our drivers for putting on an absolutely great show. Sadly, Hamish, you weren't able to join us for very much of the commentary.
Well, is what it is sometimes.
It is. Even we can't escape the gremlins. Thank you very much to those in the chat that have been with us from beginning to end. We apologise at the beginning for the technical glitches, and we will see you right here for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.
Bye-bye, everyone.